Morning students, this lesson is on use of Excel to calculate the standard deviation using a set of discrete data. We've got the score and frequency columns. I need the frequency times score column. That's going to be used to calculate the mean. And as per our standard deviation formula, we're going to need the frequency times the deviations from the mean. So that's each score deviates. That's why the subtraction symbol's there in this cell up here. The subtraction symbol's there. Okay, so it's going to be the score, subtract the mean. Okay, and we're going to square that. The reason we're squaring that because when we subtract the low scores from the mean, it's going to be a negative value. So we square those differences. Later on we take the square root. Excuse me. Okay, so I'll get you please to type that all in at the moment. Okay, and then we'll be on our way. Okay, students, to calculate the frequency times score column. Okay, and what we need to do now is we need to put the equation in here for the frequency times score column. So any equation going to start with equals. Going to take the frequency or the score times the frequency. It's irrelevant which you want to do first. Score, okay, multiplied by the frequency. Okay, and it's into that data. Okay, so check that. 2 times 4 is 8. Yes, good. Okay, now we want to copy that formula down. So we move the cross, so it goes from a first stage cross to a symmetry cross because the first stage didn't work. We'll copy that down. So we have the frequency times score. Check that, 9, 6 and 54. If we click on any cell and look up there into the formula, it will show what we've done, A8 times B8, all good. Now remember our formula for the mean is the frequency times the score, sum of that, divided by the sum of the frequencies. Now to add them up we're going to use the auto sum which is found up here out of screen. So to add up the frequency column I click underneath what I need to add up. This is where auto sum looks good. Sorry, click on that. Okay, so we're adding, as you can see from here, we could type in this formula if you wanted to. We're summing from cell B2 down to cell B9. We close the bracket off. We could use that formula or we can use the auto sum. Okay, into that. Okay, I'll do the same with this column. Into that. Okay, now to calculate the mean, it's going to be the sum of the frequency times score divided by the sum of the frequency. So I need to enter that formula. I will do that down here. So equals, okay, sum of the frequency times score is in cell C10 divided by, which is a backslash, the sum of the frequency is in F10. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, there you go, students. There's our average. It's done to what, 2 decimal places. If we want more, we can change that by right-clicking. Okay, and we'll go into format the cells. We go to number. At the moment, it's 2 decimal places. We might want 3 decimal places. Let's do that. Okay. So I'll move that, oops, getting away. Okay, so we've done that, so 3 decimal places. So the choice is yours there. Okay. Right, let's get up here, see what this formula is going to be. Okay, equals. Okay, so we're going to take the frequency column, that's cell. We're going to multiply it by, we need to put the multiplication symbol in, it will not understand and otherwise. Okay, so we've got an open bracket. We're going to take the score and subtract the mean. Now, if I was to copy this down now, B2 will become B3, what we want, B4, B5, B6, A2 will, but B12 would change into B13, which doesn't exist. We want that constant, that B12, so how we do that, students, is to insert a dollar sign in front of the 12, and that will stop that situation occurring. Close the bracket off. We want to square that, which is the inverted V. Okay, the power of 2. Okay, let's hit the enter button. Before I do, I'll just think about what the score, what is an acceptable answer here. Okay, so 2 take away about 6 is -4. Alright, so if I square that, I'm going to get 16. Alright, and for that frequency, 4 times 16, so what's about 64? Let's hit the enter button, see how we went. 62.49, yep, on the mark. Because that was a bit less than 6, wasn't it? Okay, now I need to copy that formula down. Bingo. So there's my the deviation squared times the frequency. Now, the formula for standard deviation, which I've probably got written on the board or you've got in your books, we need the square root of that column, the sum of that column, divided by the sum of frequency. So I need the sum of that, auto sum again. There we go. Enter. Oops. Something's gone wrong. Go back. Go back. Okay. Okay, there we have it. Let's check that. Okay, so it's the sum of D2 to D9, all good. Okay, so down here we want to find the standard deviation formula. I'm going to put in equals. Now remember, I want the square root of the sum of this column divided by the sum of this column. So square root symbol. So you go up to the formula section, students, unless you remember it. But I'll show you if you don't. Press formula and maths and trig, and you'll see a series of things here. So we're alphabetical order, we're going down to S. Okay, square root. There you go. Now, if you knew that, you just type it in. Okay. And you'd open the bracket up and you type in that cell divided by that cell. Okay? And then, well, we want to divide it by n as well, don't we? Okay, so, alright, but seeing this presented like that, and we use that drop down menu like that, so I want the square root of the frequency times score, whatever, and I want to divide that by, okay, the number of scores, which are 42. Click that in, press OK. Here we go. Drum roll, everybody. Okay, so we've got the standard deviation to millions of decimal places, and that's how we go. Our next video, we're going to be looking at the difference between discrete data and group data, where the difference will be the score we'll use in all our calculations will be replaced by CC, which stands for the class center, because a group, another name for a group is a class. Okay, group center. Thank you, students.